Hello there. First things first, I'd like to apologize for the quality of this video. I am stuck in a long-term care facility and I don't have my good cameras with me. I'm just using the webcam that's on my laptop. People who watch my videos on YouTube probably have no idea what's been going on because I simply dropped off the face of the earth in early January. So to get them up to speed, around the 19th of January, I was checking the transmission fluid in my Jeep, and I had it running in neutral with the emergency brake on, which is what the owner's manual, the mechanic's service manual, and the text engraved on the dipstick say to do. They all specifically say not park. So I've got this thing running in neutral, and I'm standing in front of it on the driver's side checking the transmission fluid, and it starts to roll forward. And I had left the driver's door open, and I figure, let it go by. As it on the way by, hopefully I can hop in and hit the brake. Well, this involved a little bit of running, which I shouldn't do because my toes are all curled up the way rheumatoid arthritis has done my hands, and I have no balance when I run. I made it about 3 feet. I went down hard on both knees, hard enough to rip the quadricep tendons. And what those tendons do is, like if you're sitting on the edge of a bed and start swinging your leg back and forth, those are the tendons that pull your shin forward. And when they're torn like that, you can't stand up, never mind walk. So I ended up at the hospital. They had to he repaired both the tendons at once, put braces on my legs, gave me 2 or 3 days in the hospital to heal, and then sent me to the rehab wing of a nursing home. Excuse me, a long-term care facility where I was doing physical therapy. I had eventually gotten to the point where I could move myself from a bed to a wheelchair. I progressed to the point where if I had something sturdy at the right height in front of me, I could pull up on it and stand. And I had been walking for a while with a walker in front of me, someone following behind with a wheelchair, and someone else holding on to my side just in case. But under those circumstances, I was walking 500-600 feet at a time. And even then, when I quit, it wasn't because my legs were giving out. It was because that's about as far as I can go before my heart says, you're done. You're short of breath. I'm done. So, on the 11th of March, I was about a week or maybe 2 away from going home. And this part will update those of you who watch or keep up with me on Facebook. On the 11th of March, I was trying, all I wanted to do was use the bathroom. I wheeled the wheelchair up to the bathroom door and was going to stand up out of it with the walker the way I had been taught. Only when I started to, the wheelchair started to slide out from behind me because one of the brakes was bad. So I figured the only solution was to back the wheelchair up against something so that it couldn't slide backwards. This means that instead of 2 or 3 steps from the bathroom, the wheelchair was now 15 or 20 steps from the bathroom. But I got out of the wheelchair and I used the walker. I got in the bathroom. I got my business done. I got everything cleaned up, which involved a little bit of bending over because, never mind. But anyway, I had done quite a bit more work in the bathroom than I realized. Opened the bathroom door, started walking back to where the wheelchair was. I got about 3 steps. My legs started shaking real bad. Now, if the wheelchair had been where I wanted to leave it, then it would have been no problem at all. I made it farther than that. But as it is, I got about 1/3 of the way to where the wheelchair actually was. My legs started shaking. I was holding on to the walker, trying to get my legs steady, and they just went out from under me. I'll answer that in a moment. And the next thing I knew, I was going down. I had been told by the doctor at this point not to bend my knees more than 60 degrees. I, in the process of falling, sat on my knees. And I heard the sutures in both knees rip, and I felt them rip. And I'm lying there on the floor. My head is probably about 3 feet from the door into the hallway. And I'm yelling at the top of my lungs for help. And I mean, I even went so far as to yell, "I've fallen and I can't get up." They finally, after about 5 minutes, heard me, got me into an ambulance, got me to the emergency room, and confirmed that not only had I undone all the work on my knees over that 2 months, but I broke my leg in the process, left tibia and fibula. So I now have a titanium bar in my left tibia. He redid the surgery on my left knee because it was completely separated. My right knee, even from the beginning, was only partially torn. So his plan is to just let that heal, and if there's not enough strength in it at that point, and I can't just live with it, then he'll do another surgery. But at this point, here we are on the 22nd of March, and I'm back to where I was on about the 25th of January. Speaking of the 26th or 27th, speaking of the 22nd of March, I would like very much to thank everybody on Facebook who has wished me happy birthday. And I also appreciate all of the phone calls I've gotten, particularly from my Aunt Julie. I haven't heard from her in decades. And now I'm going to go see about this call that I just missed. I want you all to have a good evening.